How do you respond to Mark Zuckerberg's announcement and what he's calling a new era for Meta?
Well, it's incredibly dispiriting, isn't it? Because the new era for Meta is one in which he's decided to let liars, snake oil salesmen, fraudsters, hate actors, propagandists for autocrats like Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, and Ayatollah Khomeini unleash a tidal wave of disinformation, many times the size of anything we've seen to date. This is going to increase the spread and the visibility of unchallenged lies. It's going to worsen the spread of hate. It's going to create more risk to our communities, to our democracy, to our public health, and to our kids.
Why do you think he decided to make this move?
Look, it's clearly a decision that's been taken for political reasons rather than any principle. In the past, Zuckerberg himself was one of the first people to identify that the way their platforms work is because engagement is what gives you amplification. And engagement is highest for contentious posts, hate posts, not engagement from people saying, I agree, but people saying, hold on, that's disgusting. And it gets people into arguments. It's crunchy, chewy content, and that gives an algorithmic boost to fringe content, to hate, to disinformation. And they've said in the past, in order to neutralize the effect that has on perverting and poisoning our discourse, our information ecosystems, they need to have strict enforcement. He was right in the past. He's absolutely wrong now.
When Facebook launched fact-checking back in 2016, another presidential election year, it was in response to widespread criticism over the rapid spread of disinformation on the platform. Do you think that the new Community Notes program will be adequate in order to combat disinformation?
Well, we actually studied Community Notes under X. We discovered that disinformation spread on that platform got 13 times as many views as the notes that were attached to it. What that means is when someone posts disinformation, even when a community note is added, 13 times more people see the disinformation without the note than see it with the note. And actually 74% of the time, so 3 and 4 times that someone comes up with a community note, it doesn't actually get displayed because there's a threshold of consensus that's required for that note to be shown. So that's a real problem if you're emulating as a model. What we said was, look, it's good that people are trying things. Let's not poo-poo everything that someone tries. But it's insufficient on its own. And Mark Zuckerberg saying, well, I'm dumping the 40,000 people that I have working on content moderation right now, in America only, by the way. He's not doing this for the rest of the world. He's saying to American citizens, your democracy, your public health, the health of your kids, the mental health of your kids, they're not as important as French, German, or British people.
And now, in today's video, Zuckerberg did not hold back his criticism of the Biden administration. Let's listen to a clip of that.
And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the U.S. government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it.
We also know Meta contributed $1 million to Trump's inauguration committee and that Zuckerberg and Trump met recently at Mar-a-Lago. How do you view this collaboration of government with big tech?
Well, look, I mean, governments have the right to back big industries in their country. Governments have the right to invite those tech executives in to talk about how they can help their businesses. But this is one step further, is it not? This is him criticizing a particular party. And whereas these, big companies, they've tended to stay out of politics, he's now chosen a perspective. He's saying that I'm going to use my platform to boost one side or another. And again, he has an absolute First Amendment right to do so. But then they can't keep claiming that they're just neutral platforms, which is what they've said in the past. They've said, we're not publishers, and so therefore we cannot be held accountable in any way. We are in some respect a public good, a utility that's available to all. And what he's actually saying now is, no, I'm going to manipulate my system to help me with my political and economic ends, which is my self-enrichment. And stop acting, put my thumb on the scale of what wins and what loses on that platform and stop acting as though I'm a neutral purveyor of information.